Speaking of electricity, we already did. So that means it's your show. What the fuck are we doing?
Well, of course, Jim, Magic Spoon is a magical cereal, and a lot of wrestling fans may think Friday night has become a magical night of wrestling action, where we have wonderful shows from both major companies on 2 different channels.
Well, a lot of those people would be wrong, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Oh, I knew it couldn't last. I thought last week, because see, here's the thing. This past weekend on The Experience, we reviewed AEW's Dynamite from Wednesday the 15th, and I said they gave me a birthday present. Tony Khan gave me a birthday present. From top to bottom, that was the most professional program that they have ever done and they've ever aired on TNT. They were in a big building with a big crowd. JR was up because he had big stars, so you had announcing, crowd, building. You had the names, Adam Cole, Bryan Danielson, CM Punk, the FTR. They worked good. The matches, boom. There was a few stinkers, couple of turds in a punch bowl, but overall, it was the best TV program top to bottom, the most professional one they've done. I said they gave me a birthday present. So what did they do? They turned around on my actual birthday. They were back to the amateur hour. This was it's still national television. It may be 10 to 11 instead of 8 to 10. It may be Friday instead of Wednesday. But what did the national viewing audience, Brian Last, do to deserve the program that they were presented last Friday night? I ask you.
I don't know. And it's certainly not the program I would have put on Friday night.
Gee, the first 40 minutes were poor Matt Hardy's midlife crisis unfolding in front of our eyes. Is he just attached to anything that we don't want to see on purpose?
I've been saying that to you for a while. As soon as you see him, his logo, his song, his crew, it's just channel-changing kind of stuff. It's go to YouTube kind of stuff. If this starts off on a Friday night, it's already tough. It's 10 o'clock at night. It's late. Some of us have kids. If we stay up, if we struggle to stay up and you start the show with this, it's hard to justify making it
now,
through.
See, you've buried us to all the young people. They're so old, they don't want to stay up past 10 o'clock on Friday night. And not for this, I didn't. I would do it for something that was worthwhile, but they were in the same building last week. They were in the same building that they were in for the Wednesday night show. They had a big building and they had a big crowd, but instead the first thing you hear when they go on the air is excrement's voice. And then here comes the Butcher and the Baker and the Bunny and Matt Hardy and Jack Evans, and we're on the America's Got Talent auditions again. And the World Tag Team Championship is on the line between the new champions, the Lucha Brothers, against the Butcher and the Baker, and the Butcher has been gone for 6 months? It's his first time back, and they get a World Tag title match.
Number 1 contenders.
Yes. Boy, they must have kicked some ass 6 months ago to carry over that far. So, again, how did they get a tag team title match, and why is this on national television? Jesus Christ. A 4-man announce booth. Now they've got Taz, Jericho, Excrement, and Ricky Starks. Why do they need 4 announcers? What happened to Mark Henry, by the way? Was he off that night?
No, he's off full-time off commentary. He's only going to be doing the backstage interviews. They're going to have Ricky Starks full-time on commentary now.
What?
And to me, the biggest problem there is Jericho screaming the whole night. He's killing it. He's ruining the show. Whatever good parts there are.
But wait a minute, Mark Henry, they just announced he's going to be now. So they have a legendary wrestling name that is more over than most of the people on their roster who is doing backstage interviews.
Here's the only issue, and I'm not disagreeing with you. Certainly, he had to really... If Mark Henry was going to be a commentator, putting him in a 4-man booth was not going to help him.
Yeah, no.
It was hard for him to get a word in. I don't think this was doing anything to help him. I don't think it was helping the show. just having him sit there and barely able to get a word in unless someone invites him to talk. So I'm not going to disagree with them pulling him off commentary.
No, I'm going to disagree with him. I'm going to disagree with him pulling him off commentary after they just signed him to be a fucking announcer and announced he was going to announce. And then I guess they announced that he's not going to announce. But the point, give him a fucking play-by-play guy and let him learn to do color. Don't have 4-man announce booths. It's fucking ludicrous. They need more TV shows just for the amount of announcers they've got. Anyway, what'd you think of this match there, Brian?
I like the Lucha Brothers with the right people, and I love Alex Abrahantes. He's my favorite. But I'm sorry, and nothing against personally the Butcher of the Blade. The bunny sucks. Just that stupid face over and over
now,
again.
hey, is that a harassment?
No, it's just the same thing. She walks out, she tilts her head, she gives the look. What is the character exactly? She's nuts? She doesn't seem nuts. She's acting nuts.
She's as mad as a March hare.
Just the whole Matt Hardy thing. Jack Evans, that takes it down a notch. The Butcher, the Butcher had a great look when he first debuted. I mean, they had him pop out of the ring against Cody. Another one of these Cody things that went nowhere. Popped out of the ring to kill Cody.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, he looked great. I said, wow, I've never seen this guy on national TV before. Who is he? And then they made me realize he's a jobber because of the way they treated him. And now I'm supposed to care about all of this, and you got Matt Hardy in there? Forget it. Garbage.
All right, here's what I jotted down, and then we'll move on. I tried to describe this match to myself because I knew I wouldn't remember it later. Gymnastics, random four-ways with obvious cooperation, referee enforcing nothing. At one point, the Baker stuck his hand out to tag the Butcher in, and the Butcher stepped in through the ropes and then tagged him. They got a little heat on Felix, but Felix made his own comeback and walked over and gave his brother a flat-footed cold tag. Then all the heels went to the floor and stood there and waited until both of the Lucha Brothers dove on them, and they went to a break. On the other side of the break, they got a little heat on Penthouse, and then he made his own comeback and cold tagged his brother. And then Felix went through some phony-looking hand-holding and leg-kicking routines with both the heels and German suplexed both of them. But the heel stopped him again because Penthouse goes from 0 to hero in 2 seconds. He was like, pile driver off the roof, boom, instant nip up, drop kick, whatever. They stopped the heels again, but then Penthouse crawled over and just tagged his partner. But the heels stopped Felix on the apron before he ever got in the ring. Then they tied Penthouse's mask to the turnbuckle and then double-teamed Felix over and over while the referee stood there and waved his arms helplessly, standing there staring at him, until Penthouse, who apparently was never a Boy Scout, could untie the knot to get out of his fucking mask, covered his face with one hand, and super kicked the heels so that Felix could roll him up. 1, 2, 3. That was about the match, right?
I guess.
Then the heels and Private Party. So now there's how many of them is there's the two heels here, the Butcher and the Baker, plus Private Party. There's 3. There's 4. Jack Evans was out there. There's 5. Hardy is 6. I don't know if the Bunny was still around. 7. They attack the Lucha Brothers, get some fake looking heat on them, and then Santana and Ortiz hit the ring, and 7 or 8 human beings run from 2. And then we go to the package. So this is, they're back to being AEW in the first year with this shit. Like I said, it's national TV. You put this on YouTube if you've got to do this stuff. Anyway, they did an package on Bryan Danielson and Twinkle Toes. And I guess, are they just avoiding bringing these big names out for Rampage because they're taping in the same building as they taped the Dynamite and they don't want to bring the big names out twice? Is that a reason why none of these people can be live on this show?
I'm not exactly sure, and I think one of the big issues with Rampage is it goes back and forth. It was the must-watch show when Punk debuted, and then they put a bunch of job matches on there. Or a bunch of matches featuring guys you don't want to see, let me be fair. And then this one coming up this coming week from Queens. It's going to be taped Wednesday night, but it's main event matches. So it's kind of weird when you go...
It's a 2-hour show.
It's kind of weird when you go from the show being the must-watch show, you have to see it, and then the next week you don't have to see it. Because it's a bunch of crap. And that's what it was this week.
Well, and the ratings reflected that because they're back down where they were before Punk showed up.
I didn't see the ratings for Rampage. What were they?
Apparently they're about the same thing as they were before Punk showed up. What was 600 and something thousand? Did I see right? Perhaps you can research that while I skip the next match. Because the next match was the Bunny with Penelope Ford against Anna Jay with Ty Conti. 2 Hardy Office matches in a row, and these two, and they did a jump start on the ramp, got in a hockey fight on the floor, and then one of the girls gave the other one a suplex on the floor before they ever even got in the ring. So after the finish, all the 4 interchangeable Outlaw Mud Show blondes got in the ring and had a fight with each other, and they used brass knuckles to knock out the baby faces. But somehow, even though it's a girl using brass knuckles, you can still see they look pretty good. They look like real brass knuckles. She punches both of them with the brass knuckles. It doesn't even mess their makeup up. So now the girls are using brass knuckles. 10 minutes of national TV time. Have you got that information yet?
I do have the information. So the ratings are in order. Week 1, August 13th, 740,000. August 20th, the CM Punk week, 1,129,000. And then August 27th, 720,000. And in September, the 3rd, 696,000. The 10th, 670,000. And the 17th, which we are reviewing right now, 642,000.
Well, there you go. So, they did a package on Powerhouse Hobbs and CM Punk. And this was great because Hobbs can talk too. This guy is fucking fabulous. But he's got some oomph to him verbally. He looks good. He's got some personality. But it was, a minute and a half deal or 2 minutes or whatever the fuck it was. Wasn't going to save this show because now we come back. Tony Schiavone in the ring with Matt Hardy and Jack Evans. What is it was like the old days of studio wrestling when you're doing a live studio program and there's a fucking snowstorm and only 4 wrestlers show up. This was the worst thing I've ever seen. It's everything wrong with AEW all in one place. He's in the ring, Matt Hardy, doing a promo, plugging next week's matches. Okay, that's fine. And then he just suddenly gets pissed at a fan in quotation marks, in the front row dressed like Pockets. The guy didn't look a thing like Pockets. He was a dark-haired, fat kind of dumpy guy, but he had the Pockets t-shirt on and he had his jean jacket and whatever. I guess he's got his hand stuck in his pants, probably playing pocket pool. Point is, Matt Hardy just goes out and pulls this fan over the fucking rail, dumps him on his ass, throws him in the ring. No security comes. No, Tony Schiavone is just standing there in the ring watching this. Nothing, the announcer's like, oh, he shouldn't do that. And they not only beat the guy up, but they give the fan wrestling moves and then shave half his head. And at that point, that's when Pocket's music plays and he walks to the ring and the heels run from this one guy walking to the ring as he saves his fan who just got half his head shaved, and nobody. They all went apeshit when an actual fan jumped up and got on the apron of the ring.
Yeah, and since that time, MJF invited fans into the ring, and then Matt Hardy pulled a plant into the ring.
Yes. And we also saw what happened when that guy got on the apron of the ring. Everybody in the building made a beeline for him. Security, the wrestlers in the ring, everybody. Nobody did a thing about this. It was fake. It was phony. It wasn't well executed. How many times I got to say that? It was hot garbage. And why was this a good idea? Who had this idea and who said it was good? To just do fake shit that everybody's going to scoff at on your... That was 35 minutes of the show. I didn't want to watch any more of it after that.
You know, I don't know that there was a lawsuit. In fact, I'm going to guess there wasn't, but didn't this feel like a Matt Hardy settlement episode? We'll just use you for the whole episode. Do anything you want. We'll fill the episode with you. What was this? Why was this? Every segment up to this point is Matt Hardy. And it's the record low ratings for the show.
Brutal. So then the one good thing happened. Britt Baker and Ruby Soho. Again with Tony Schiavone in the ring. And we're going to see a theme on this because even though Britt Baker and Ruby Soho did a great job, there was not a great job done here with any attention to detail or any formatting or any booking, etc. Tony Schiavone's in the ring for a promo with Britt Baker and Ruby Soho, right? Both the girls have microphones. Tony starts it out and then goes and stands in the corner. Why? Doesn't that look... He just watched a fan get beat up. Now he's in the ring to watch, get a better fucking view of the two girls talking to each other. Anyway, Ruby Soho has personality. It seems like she's having fun. Britt Baker is a great promo as a heel, and that's why people like her. She's a popular heel. And they had good material. I mean, especially when Ruby Soho, you know, basically, not only did the fans start chanting for it, it didn't throw her off. She went right back to what she was doing when she hit the line about Britt Baker being like so many of the other girls that she's had to deal with or whatever, banging some dude in the back. That was, what a pop. This is MJF level shit. Maybe he's writing the girls' promos now. I don't know. Because then Britt Baker tells her that she's not the runaway. She didn't run away. She got fired. So the boom, boom, boom. They get in each other's faces. They tell each other off. They get pops. It was a great promo segment. Points off at the end because Britt Baker tried to attack her, but Ruby Soho kind of double-legged her, boom, 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 and ran her off, and that wasn't a shining example of physicality, but it was the best thing on the show, and the promo was very good. What'd you think?
I thought it was all right. I didn't think it was as great as you thought it was, but I thought it was pretty good.
Oh, I don't know if I said great, but it was in this atmosphere.
Here's the thing. Again, it's a 10 p.m. Friday night show. It ends at 11. I think there's no question if you're going to argue who's the biggest star on the show, it's either Britt Baker or Miro. One of those two. Why are they at the end of the show? Britt Baker gets a pop. She looks like a star. People react to her. And she does these good promos. Why is this after 35 minutes or so of stuff that makes you tune out? If it's going to be a show that's on a Friday night where you think the audience may start leaving as you get closer to 11, load the top half of the show with the stars. Put Matt Hardy at the 11 p.m. hour.
Well, but they think they did. The Lucha Brothers are the tag team champions. So that, so they think they put stars at the top of the program. The problem is nobody wants to see, even if you want to see the Lucha Brothers, nobody wants to see them beat.
That's it.
Jabronis.
If you put Lucha Brothers and FTR, people want to see it. You put Lucha Brothers and Young Bucks, people would want to see it. Lucha Brothers and Santana Ortiz, people want to see it. Nobody wants to see Matt Hardy, and he was all over the show. And until the stars came out towards the end of the show.
We're not going to be lucky enough to see the Lucha Brothers and FTR anytime soon because that would give FTR a chance to actually have a good match with people it's almost impossible to have a good match with, like they usually do every time they get in the ring. But anyway, so the main event is Miro and Fuego del Solo for his car. And they did some canned, monotone promos. And I just said, why? So what happened?
Miro won, and then Miro just kicked the living crap out of him, put the car keys in his mouth, and put him in that pretzel movie does, until, like, I thought they were setting up on Dynamite. Sammy ran in and made the save, and there's something there with Sammy.
You called it.
There's something there with Sammy and Miro, but goddamn, this promo, this Fuego del Sol, even that, like, to me, that was the one thing. Okay, do a promo that makes me want to care about you, instead of just do standard wrestling promo B from your manual, sir. And that's what he did. It was just a generic garbage promo. And it wasn't a very good episode of Dynamite. Love Miro. Miro's still great. I like Miro's promo. That's unique. But that's that.
That is indeed that.
It makes me wish... It makes me wish that I had gone to a place and gambled on whether or not I would have a good transition or not, but I didn't do that, so instead I'm going to go to the bathroom and shave all sorts of areas with Manscaped.
What the hell? Where are you going? You're betting on your ball shaving? You're all over the page here, folks. I tell you, if you don't want to take chances or place bets or get odds on your ball shaving, I know exactly what you need to do. You need to verify this stuff. You need to make sure that your nether regions will be slick and fresh and taste good at all times.
Taste good.
And, well, whatever the case, I'm not judging anybody. So, all you need, folks, is the Performance Package 4.0 from Manscaped. That's what you need, because they've got everything in there to make your private parts, corporals and lieutenants even. They will no longer be privates. You'll want to share them with the world. You'll want to share them with everybody. They'll look so nice and feel so good, but don't make anybody look. They only can look if they want to. Folks, with the Performance Package 4.0, they have the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, of course, the cutting-edge ceramic blade. I hesitate to use the word cutting edge because it doesn't cut anything except what it's supposed to cut. It won't nick you or slice you or dice you. No, you will not be able to put your testicles in coleslaw when you use the Lawnmower 4.0, because this bad boy reduces grooming accidents because of advanced skin-safe technology, a 7,000 RPM motor. Boy, does it run. I'll tell you what, you turn this thing on, the lights in the house will dim, and it will whack all those things that you want whacked. It'll whack you right off, I'm telling you. The multi-function on and off switch, now it's brand new. It turns it on, it turns it off. It's amazing. It's got a spotlight in case you want to call attention to whatever you're trying to eradicate and eliminate. It's also got the weed whacker, the nose and hair trimmer, or nose and ear hair trimmer, I should say, which I think is a 9,000 RPM motor. That's even more astounding, Brian. How many RPMs does your typical ear and nose hair trimmer have?
33 1/3.
Well, there you go. So this is 9,000. And don't forget about the Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant and the Crop Reviver Toner to help your little boys be on their A game down there. Anyway, you get 20% off, folks. But you can get it all off as soon as you get the Manscaped products. You can be slickered and come on a gold tooth. But you get 20% financially off and free shipping by going to manscaped.com/JCE. Manscaped.com/JCE. 20% off and free shipping. And you know that they're one of our favorites because we do love for our sphincters and taintal areas to be free of clutter. And this is the way to do it. And who knows, the holidays are coming up. You might get lucky. Somebody out there, anybody,